What we're going to do is demonstrate how the Breakout Plus works on paraffin from actually 3 different areas. This is basically soil and paraffin from a well in Louisiana, or from I should say a field in Louisiana. That this stuff is literally plugging up wells over there, and they've not been able to come up with a product until now that would dissolve this stuff. This paraffin here is from East Texas. Basically the same thing. They've tried multiple products on it. You can see how hard it is. Tried to break it down, and they've not been successful doing that. There's no one product that's a cure for all, but this particular product can be tweaked either way, whether it's heavy asphaltenes or heavy paraffin, and it will work on both of them. So now this paraffin here is maybe the hardest I've ever seen. You've literally got to cut it out. It's ready for the wax factory. I'm going to cut some out. You can actually shape this stuff, it's so hard. And we're actually going to treat each one of these with Breakout Plus, and we're going to have to let it set. Today is Thursday, December 12th. It's about 4:25 right now, and we're going to let this sit overnight, and then we'll come back in the morning and see the results of it. And this is basically how you would treat a well. You would inject this stuff, preferably with a cavitator, because it's going to beat it up real good, and let it set, do its work, and then get it back out within 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours, something like that. So we'll set all these things, go ahead and cover that. I'm going to put each glass right there in front of paraffin. We'll know which is which in the morning. And again, we'll take a look at it in the morning. Okay, it's Friday 13th. It's a little before 2 o'clock, so this stuff is set for a little over 20 hours, so we'll call it 24. And you can see the paraffin still in there that we treated yesterday. And what I want to show, just a small amount of agitation now breaks it to almost nothing immediately. So paraffin, of course, when you run this stuff through a cavitator, it's much more agitation than this. But you can see that it's pretty much taken the paraffin. There's a couple of small pieces there that will continue to break up. So there it is. It's pretty much gone now. So does a real good job of breaking it up. You can see it just turns into just small pieces of dirt on the side there. So you'll see the same on this one. There's your paraffin with just a small amount of agitation. You'll see it break down immediately. See how that is? It's just nothing but dirt now. Takes the wax completely out of the paraffin completely out of the dirt. Can you see that good? Mm-hmm. Hope so. It's a really good job on paraffin and asphaltene. Now this was the hard one here that we actually had to cut out. You can still see the big pieces in there. Again, this is very hard stuff. With a slight amount of agitation, again running through a cavitator, we'll break this down to literally nothing. Very impressive.
Move your finger on the bottom.
I'm sorry. large pieces have just totally disintegrated. You see all that? You can see the dirt that's come out of the paraffin. This jar is actually leaking a little. There it is. You see how that's gone?
Yeah.
Does a really good job. People from China sent us some rocks. This is a major problem for them at the Chinese refineries. They sent us some, can you see that? Basically, this is rocks all over, rocks, gravel, dirt that they have all over the refineries, and they have literally been burying this stuff, and they asked us if we could come up with a method to clean it up, which we did. We've got wash tanks being built right now. I'll put these in here. And this stuff really, let me show you just. It's really hard stuff. And many refineries have this same problem, but what I was going to show you is you can take a knife. This stuff is so on there that you can't scrape it with a knife. I mean, it's really hard stuff. Let's put it in there. We're going to break that down with the same paraffin product, liquefy it. You can tell by the color how fast it works. It's almost immediate. And just with a small amount of agitation, you can see just how clean those rocks become. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take a little bit of carbon seal, float the hydrocarbons and the chemical to the top, and continue cleaning those rocks. Now if you'll put your camera on that, you'll see it continue taking the hydrocarbons out of the rocks, and in just a few minutes those rocks will be clean enough for kids to play in again. You see that good? It's really nice the way it's doing that. It's going to put the chemical and the hydrocarbons on top. Your trash will lay right under it here, and then again these rocks will be clean. The carbon seal can be reused. I'm going to hold this up to the light, so hopefully you can get, hopefully your camera can pick this up. You see the trash here underneath the chemical and the hydrocarbons? It won't let it mix with this again. But you've, again, you can reuse the chemical for cleaning or breaking down paraffin. The trash can be filtered out. The rocks can of course, the carbon seal is going to finish cleaning the rocks. And almost everything that was put in there can be reused. Can you see that layer?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty impressive. You know, bottom just how clean those rocks are.